Cocaine is derived from the leaves of the Erythroxylum coca shrub, which is a perennial dicot angiosperm of the Erythroxylaceae family. The Erythroxylaceae family is known as the Coca family and has about 240 species, of which Coca is the most well known. Erythroxylum coca is native to southern Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, the Amazonian rainforest in general, and it has spread and is now grown in Colombia, Ecuador, and other tropical areas around the world as a cash crop. There are a few subspecies of the coca plant that differ slightly depending on geography, reproductive strategy, and morphology. Coca bush is an understory plant that grows to about 7 to 10 feet in the wild and 3 to 5 feet when cultivated. They can live up to 40 years and thrive in high humidity, elevations from 1,500 to 6,000 feet, and soils with lots of decomposing material. The coca plants produce leaves after 3 years and then perfect flowers that turn into a single-seeded red berry. There is one variety of the Erythroxylum coca that was bred to grow vegetatively by the semi-nomadic people of the Andes. However, all the rest of the species only produced by seed. Leaves of the coca species are between 0.6 to 0.8% cocaine, which is an alkaloid that is synthesized as a defense compound for the shrub. This means it has few natural predators. Other alkaloids are also synthesized by the plant, but none are psychoactive in humans. Alkaloid compounds are synthesized in many plants: caffeine in coffee, nicotine in tobacco, and morphine in poppies. The earliest recorded human use of coca is around 8,000 years before present. Coca leaves were found in caves in the eastern Andes, and it is thought that coca domestication and use started around then. Traditionally, coca leaves are used to make tea or chewed. The effects are both spiritual and medicinal, and it was seen as a way to connect with the land and the community. Coca use spread into the regions we now know as Bolivia, Argentina, Ecuador, Chile, Colombia, and Peru. The plant was looked at as a gift from the earth god Pachamama and was known as coca, or the tree, by the native Aymara people. Leaf chewing cures altitude sickness, hunger, thirst, and tiredness. When leaves are applied directly, it is a local anesthetic. Over the course of its ancient history, coca was sacrificed to various gods and even used as a form of currency. The amount of cocaine consumed in a typical teas or wad of chewed leaves is about 50 times less than the amount of cocaine found in the concentrated illicit drug, and it is metabolized much slower. Cocaine was first extracted in 1859 by German scientist Albert Niemann using solvents in an acid-base extraction process that is relatively simple and still used today. In 1855, pharmaceutical companies realized the medicinal potential for cocaine and the demand soared, but it was phased out of use by 1914 because it was addictive. Cocaine came back in the 1960s when its use became more accepted, and it is the second most commonly used illegal drug after marijuana today. Cocaine and coca growth is illegal worldwide except in some parts of Peru, Bolivia, and Argentina, where coca leaves are still used traditionally. Most of the world's cocaine comes from Colombia, where the government is struggling to control its cultivation. The traditional use of coca is not considered a health hazard, but its use in cocaine production has led to conflict between traditional growth and growth for cocaine. There are a wide range of coca products legally available in South America that are considered medicinal and spiritual and are consumed by the local people and tourists that visit the countries.